You're spending money on expensive hair care. It feels like you are doing everything right, yet your hair is still dry, dull, and breaking. I'll tell you why, and it's not your fault. Most people think the problem lies in the shampoo, conditioner, or mask, or that they are caring for the hair incorrectly. This might be true. A huge number of people mindlessly buy hair care or rely on advice from bloggers who advertise products just to take money. In reality, the problem might not be hiding inside the bottle itself, because a cascade of chemical reactions begins the exact moment water touches your hair. And this is a factor you absolutely cannot eliminate, because for shampoo to start lathering, it needs water, and for the components of conditioners or masks to start working, they also need water. In fact, water its own is capable of cleaning hair by itself. Maybe not as effectively, but it will definitely partially get the job done. Hard water is water with high content of metals and minerals, primarily calcium, magnesium, copper, iron, cobalt. In some regions of the Europe and the USA, the water hardness level is so high that it's literally an aggressive environment for the hair. For example, I have been living in Spain for 4 years now and just looked at this water hardness map. Here in Catalonia, the situation is very tense. Barcelona water contains a lot of calcium and magnesium, which is why you will always see a white lime scale buildup in shower cabins that is very difficult to remove. And here is what happens every single time you wash your hair with this kind of water. Under a microscope, hair looks like a pine cone. It has a cuticle. These are scales that should lay flat and smooth. When they are closed, the hair is smooth, shiny, and retains moisture well, which is crucial for elasticity and flexibility. Metals and minerals from hard water settle on the surface of the hair. They literally stick to the cuticle. Over time, this layer becomes thicker. The scales can no longer close properly. The hair becomes rough, porous, and dry. In the case of porous and damaged hair, metals and minerals can even penetrate inside the hair shaft. But that is only the first part of the problem. The second is the chemical reaction. Minerals react with the surfactants in your shampoo, and insoluble precipitate forms, essentially soap scum. It remains on the hair and scalp even after rinsing, even if you feel like you rinse everything out thoroughly. The third part is the pH. Hard water has an alkaline pH. Hair loves an acidic environment. Alkali opens up the cuticle, and open cuticle means moisture loss, porosity, and breakage. The fourth part is oxidation. Everything that got inside and stuck to the hair begins to oxidize. And this process always leads to the destruction of the hair structure, especially if this happens alongside coloring, high temperatures, sun exposure, and so on. So imagine that every single time you wash your head, your hair is one way or another exposed to the impact of metals and minerals. What this means in practice. Now you understand why things happen that seems inexplicable. Why does a mask that worked for your friend not work for you? Because you live in a different cities with different water. Why did your hair get worse after moving? Because the water hardness in the new place is different. Why does expensive hair care yield no results? Because the active ingredients cannot break through the mineral buildup on the hair. Why does the scalp itch and flake even with a normal care routine? Because the mineral precipitate irritates the skin and disrupts its barrier. It's not a problem with your hair, it's a problem with your water. What do about it without protocol? The good news, this is fixable. There are specific tools and approaches that allow you to neutralize the effects of hard water and remove the accumulated buildup. The bad news, most of the advice you will find on the internet consists of superficial solutions that do not address the real cause, and sometimes they are completely harmful to the hair, and in the next videos we will talk about this. If this video opened your eyes to why your hair care isn't working, save it. Show it to a friend who has the same problem and write in the comment, have you checked the water hardness in your city?